What's going on, video game voting Vanguard? It's your boy P City Substance. We here with another episode of WEBISODE Wednesdays. WEBISODE Wednesdays, we are looking on the World Wide Web. We're looking to add to our collection, games, consoles, merchandise, you name it. So today, this pickup was done on eBay. Guys are pretty sure everyone's familiar with eBay. You could definitely find any and everything on there with buy it now, meaning it's a set price, or you could do the auctions, which is more exciting, can be more frustrating as well. So this particular item I have been eyeing for a while, and I actually wasn't even going to bid on this one quite yet. I got times where I just look to see what's out there, especially for auctions that's ending soon. I like to try to swoop in at the end and grab an item in particular. So this particular item, again, I wasn't really eyeing it, but it was at such a low cost, and it was towards the end of the auction. I said, why not? Decided to give it a shot. So what I ended up bidding on and successfully winning is the Super Famicom, which is the Japanese version of the Super Nintendo that was released in Japan. It came out in the 16-bit era. It was released November the 21st in 1990, discontinued September 25th, 2003. To date, it's been 17.17 million units sold worldwide. There was actually internet support in Japan only, which is mind-boggling to me that in 1990 that they had internet servers for their game consoles, which goes to show you how far we were behind in the States as far as technology, especially video games are concerned. They had the internet service through Satellaview, I'm probably saying that wrong, Satellaview, and Nintendo Power, which were both online sources. There was 3 models, this one being the Model 2. Model 1 was from 90 to 98. Model 2, the one that I have, came out in 92 and that ran to 98. And Model 3 came out from 98 to 03. The difference between this model and the Super NES that we're familiar with here in the States is the Super NES games have little notches built in. So that difference, the difference between the Super Famicom cartridges from the Super Nintendo. But there are other retro consoles that are clones that you're able to play both in. I believe the Retron 5 is one that plays both SNES and Super Famicom cartridges inside of the same console. Also, I want to mention that I was watching an episode of Metal Jesus Rocks, my favorite YouTuber, by the way. He had an episode with John Riggs, and John Riggs talked about the second model of the Super NES that came out here. There's a portion that you can remove from the second model of Super Nintendo. It's supposed to be a couple screws. You take that out, and the Super Famicom games are able to fit in there, and it is playable. So that's just something to keep in mind. Maybe if I came across that model Super Nintendo, maybe worth it, but I have this, so that's kind of irrelevant to me, but cool to some people. Also, worth pointing out, all of the cables and everything connect from the Super Famicom as well as to the Super Nintendo. Everything works, controller and everything. Also, if you notice here on this top of the consoles, got the red, green, blue, and yellow. That's one of the main differences with the controller for the Super Famicom and Super NES. Instead of being your the gray and purple that we're accustomed to here in the States, it has those different color buttons on the Super Famicom controller, which is pretty cool. And the design's a bit different, even with the power buttons and the reset and the eject's a little different. Most notably the power button. But that was a pretty cool pickup. And I forgot to tell you guys the most important part, the most intriguing part. I won the auction for that Super Famicom on eBay for $13.15. Completely blew my mind. Again, I wasn't even trying. I just threw out a number like $14, and I ended up winning it. They don't really cost too much on eBay. You can most definitely get one for $30 and probably in better shape. As you can see here, there's a lot of that yellow discoloration. Of course, they get those over there in Japan as well. I was doing a little research about potentially bringing these back to the grave, but I can't say that I'm super concerned about it. It's not a big deal. it's just showing its time. It definitely still works, and it's still very playable. So I don't really mind. It's kind of, a piece of history in a sense. So I don't have an issue with that. But some people may. So don't forget, if you haven't subscribed right now, hit that subscribe button right below, little red button. It is free to subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, not even time. Just a little click of the button. Boom, done. Also hit the like button, turn the little bell on to turn the notifications on, and leave feedback. Whatever feedback you want, leave it down there in the comment section. Let me know what you guys think. Let me know if you guys have a Super Famicom, and if not, does me talking about it interest you into getting one? Also, don't forget to check out the official website of Video Game Votary, thevideogamevotery.wordpress.com, official website of the Video Game Votary. Also, check out the Video Game Votary podcast, available on all podcast platforms, including Apple. If you rate each episode high, I will hope the higher you rate those, they will coincidentally move us up on Spotify and the rest of the podcast platforms as well. So iTunes is kind of, the cream of the crop, and everybody kind of follows suit with that. It's available on Stitcher, again, Google Podcasts, everything. So I appreciate you guys. If you guys want to donate directly to the Video Game Votary channel, www.patreon.com/Video Game Votary. Donations are always welcome. It's not required. I'm not begging or anything like that, but it's appreciated because we haven't hit the subscribe number or the view times on YouTube for me to start receiving any type of royalty payments for the episode. So if you want to help your boy out directly, that's the way to do it. Anything is appreciated. I'm not asking for a certain number again. But the more you do, the more my name gets heard, and the more I get insider looks on different games and consoles to bring you information first, and I get to allocate more time, which means better video and better info, better footage. So I appreciate you guys. We're going to end the episode on that note. This has been $20 not $20 Tuesday. This has been WEBISODE Wednesdays. This is your boy P City Substance, and this is the Video Game Votary.